Welcome to the Umpqua Unitarian Universalist Congregation. As the clock ticks down past 10:30, we are getting ready for our service, so please make your way to your seats, silence your cell phones, and get ready for today's service.
Good morning. We join with other Unitarian Universalist churches in the tradition of striking the gong 3 times. Once in memory of those who have lived, built, and nurtured this congregation before us. Once in honor of those calling us home here today. And once for those of her future. Good morning on this Sunday, May 11th. My name is Lawrence Larry, and I'm your service leader for today. We welcome you to this wonderful Sunday service of the Umpqua Unitarian Universalist Church of Roseburg. In our congregation, you can be yourself, but not by yourself. Whomever you are, whoever you love, however you describe yourself or name the holy, you are welcomed. We especially welcome those who are visiting for the first time, those recently new to us, and to those returning again. We value love, justice, compassion, and we are unified by our shared values and principles. We're so glad you're here with us today. Please stay after service for coffee and tea and conversation so we can get to know each of you a little bit better. Happy Mother's Day. Much appreciation goes to our staff, our media director, Jack Trainer, and to our church administrator, Genevieve Gonzalez. I believe we have another announcement by Sharon, if you would like to share that.
Hi, on my tippy toes here. We encourage everybody to stay after the service if they have questions, even if they don't have questions, because it'll probably come up about the budget that we're going to present at the annual meeting. And there are copies back there. At this time, we have the operations budget. So that's what's available for right now. We have one more meeting, board meeting before we've been meeting pretty much every week for more than 1 month, for several months now, because of everything that's happened. And there's always questions about the budget. I mean, you talk money, people have questions. So there may be something that comes up that we can't answer, but if I have the question now, we can anticipate an answer for you. So thank you. And I have Betsy's shirt on today.
Thank you, Sharon. We move now in compassion for those in need who are hungry, ill, and without shelter. Our congregation's service to the larger Roseburg community is to collect your contributions of food and money. This supports the Fish Pantry and its combined effort of several Roseburg churches. Our church offertory is later in the service. Thank you. Your gift will help others. We would also like to welcome our live streaming audience watching from home. And now on this wonderful Mother's Day, we're going to do something a little bit different. We'd like for you to turn to your left and to your right and say good morning to that person, especially if it's a mother. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. You think I'd know to turn it on. Good morning. We're going to move now into some chalice lighting words. We light this chalice today in honor of the mothers who brought us into the world, the ones who raised us, the ones who held space for our growth, whether through presence, memory, or legacy. We light this flame for the spirit of compassion, for the universe that nurtures life in all of its forms, for the quiet, steady love that births courage, for the fierce, gentle strength that sees us through. May this light be a reminder that we are held, that we are loved, and that we too can be a source of light and care in the lives of others. And now some opening words. Motherhood is more than biology. It is the act of nurturing, of showing up with love and presence, of offering shelter in life's storms. Let us open our hearts today to that deep and sacred care that holds us all, the mothering spirit that lives in each of us and in the vast, compassionate universe around us. And now, please rise in body or in spirit for our first hymn, Wake Now My Senses.
Join with all people who
Now is the time in our service when we remember our joys and concerns with silent or spoken candle lighting regarding the significant milestones in our lives. I invite those who wish to light a candle, silent or spoken, to please form a line to my right. For those with spoken candles, please give your name and please be brief. The offering is a sacrament of the Free Church. We are supported by the voluntary generosity of all who are part of this congregation. Your offering will be received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and dreams. Receive, may we be truly grateful. May we be committed to using these gifts to make a difference in the world and to expand our beloved community. Join us now in singing From You I Receive.
From you I receive.
Well, I guess we could have remained standing. We're going to do our anthem, Yellow by Coldplay.
Shine for you, everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do, and it was called Yellow. Oh, what the things have done, and it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. do I bleed myself dry? It's true. Look how they shine for you. 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 Look how they shine. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. And all the things that you do.
I would like to introduce today's speaker, Jack Tranter. Excuse me, it would help if I got it straight. Jake Tranter. Jake Tranter is a Roseburg-based filmmaker, Army veteran, and lifelong performer. Originally from Desert Hot Springs, California, Jake discovered his love for the arts after moving to Roseburg and participating in local theater throughout high school. After graduating from Roseburg High in 2018, he served as an infantryman in the U.S. Army and was brought home with an honorable discharge. He now runs Spider King Studios, a local film production company dedicated to creative storytelling and community engagement. Outside of filmmaking, Jake is passionate about health and fitness and is actively working towards his certification as a personal trainer and boxing coach, with a focus on supporting individuals with Parkinson's disease. Please welcome Jake Tranter.
Good morning again. So, I want to start today by being honest about something that's not easy to say on a day like today. Mother's Day hasn't always been a joyful celebration for me, and it hasn't been for a lot of people, I imagine. For me, I had an estranged relationship with my mother. With my biological mother, that is. I never saw my parents together growing up, and that shaped the way that I viewed love, how I viewed stability and connection. Even through the pain, though, of physical and emotional abuse that I endured from my mother, I still longed for her love. That desire didn't go away. Because there's something deep and human about wanting to be held, to be nurtured, to be mothered, especially by the person who brought you into this world. But that love never came the way I needed it. And I carried that absence like a wound. It shaped me in ways that I'm still unraveling. But then, when I was 6, my stepmom, Jamie, entered my life, and she showed me what consistency looked like. She became a parent to 2 boys who weren't her own, while battling traumas of her own that she still faces today. But she showed up, and even though I resisted it, because part of me didn't want a replacement, I see now that her commitment helped raise the man I am today. She didn't have to love me. but she did. And that love, freely chosen, is what motherhood really is. Now, a couple years ago, my biological mother passed away. And it was sudden, but not unexpected. She'd been living with medical issues for a long time, many of them rooted in years of drug and alcohol abuse. And when she died, I felt something inside of me crack open. It was like a piece of me had gone missing. And that lack of closure was a heavy thing. Some days I would cry and not know why. Other days I was angry at her for not being there, for never being able to be the mother that I needed. And I kept asking myself, why couldn't she just love me the way I needed? But over time, I've come to realize something hard and freeing all at once. Sometimes some mothers just aren't fit for motherhood. And that's not a moral failure, it's human. They carry wounds, addictions, traumas, and struggles of their own. We may never fully understand it, or why they couldn't show up for us the way that we needed. But that doesn't mean that we're unlovable. That doesn't mean we're broken. Their inability to love us does not define our worth. What I've come to believe is that a mother's love isn't always biological. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. It's about effort. It's about choosing love, even when it's hard. And in that love, even when it comes from unexpected places, we find healing and we find home. Speaking of home, my spiritual journey has been interesting, to say the least. Like many things in life, it was not a straight path. It didn't come neatly wrapped in prayer or devotion. It came through chaos, through pain, through years of self-hate, depression, failed relationships, eating disorders, and PTSD, breaking me down until I had almost nothing left. I reached the lowest point in my life, and it was not poetic. It was dark. It was isolating. I didn't want to be here anymore. And I don't say that lightly or for shock value. I say that because I need to be candid. Because out of that depth where I felt forgotten, broken, and utterly lost, I was reborn. And my healing has been the most gruesome and liberating rebirth of my existence. And it didn't come all at once. It was slow, jagged, but piece by piece, I began to rebuild. I learned how to love myself. Not in a surface level way, but in a way that allowed me to see myself as worthy, even when the world didn't reflect that back to me. And the more I learned to love myself, the more I began to sense something else, something bigger. I don't care what you give it as far as a name, spirit, God, the universe. It, she, him doesn't need a label. But I can tell you this, I felt a presence, a connection, a guidance. And this presence wasn't harsh. It didn't shame me for the mistakes I'd made. It didn't withhold love when I slipped up. And it didn't ask for perfection. It simply held me. In every moment of doubt, in every moment of despair, it held me with a quiet, non-judgmental love that felt familiar and yet bigger than anything I'd ever known. It felt like a mother. Not in the way that I could have experienced as a child, but in the way that I needed all along. It was patient. It was nurturing. It was unconditional. And it asked nothing of me but to trust. To believe that I was on the path even when I felt lost. To believe that everything was unfolding exactly as it needed to be. And here's the wild part. After everything I've been through, everything I lacked, I still found a way to feel mothered. Not by flesh and blood, not by somebody with a title, but by spirit. And it made me realize motherhood doesn't have to come from biology. We've already said that. But now, I know it doesn't even have to come from another person. It can come from within, from the divine, from the quiet whisper that says, you are held, you are loved, and you are enough. Because here's something else that I've come to believe. We are not separate from spirit. We are a part of it. We are not fragments, not accidents. We are the universe, experiencing itself through each of our lives, our joys, our heartbreaks, our transformations. Every moment of kindness, every time we choose love over fear, every time we reach out to comfort someone in pain, we're embodying that mothering spirit. That divine love flows through us, not just to us, which means that when I trust spirit, I'm also trusting myself. When I feel that love, I'm feeling the same current that flows through all things. When I nurture myself, I'm honoring the very energy that gave rise to the stars and oceans and us. That is how deeply we are connected. And that means none of us are ever truly alone. Not in our grief, not in our healing, not in our searching. We are all part of something vast and sacred, something that doesn't need us to be perfect, just present. And in that presence is that connection. We can begin to mother each other, to be the love we didn't always receive, to offer what we are still learning, and to walk each other home. So here I stand, a man who grew up without the mother I longed for, a man who for years believed that missing piece defined him, that he was somehow unworthy because the one person who should have showed him love couldn't, but life and spirit had other plans. Because even in the absence of what I thought I needed most, I was still being shaped, loved, and guided. My stepmom, Jamie, showed me that motherhood is not about blood. It's about choice, about the courage to show up for someone even when you're still figuring out how to show up for yourself. And then there's spirit, that ever-present, unseen force that didn't just mother me from the outside, but showed me that I could mother myself, that I could hold space for my own pain and still grow something beautiful out of it, that even my scars had value. So if you're someone who feels that lack, who has a void where a mother's love should be, or who never felt seen or nurtured or understood, I want you to hear this. You are not broken. You are not unworthy. And you are not alone. That love you feel missing, it's real. That ache has weight. But it also has invitation. An invitation to see the ways love still finds you. In a friend who listens, in a teacher who believes in you, in a sunset that quiets your mind, and in the warmth of your own hand over your heart when you say, I'm still here. Mothering is not limited to one relationship or one person. It can come from all around us and all within us. And when we recognize that, when we reclaim that power, we can offer it to others. We can be the love that we needed. We can mother the world. So today I invite you to do just that. If you never felt mothered, start by mothering yourself with grace, patience, and compassion. If you have known that kind of love, honor it by passing it on. Be the one who chose to show up, the one who chooses to show up. Be the soft place to land. Be the reminder that love doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be present. That is the mothering spirit, and it lives in all of us. Thank you. And happy Mother's Day.
This is the time, can you hear me? This is the time when, if you have a question, please raise your hand and speak out. Okay. Question or comment?
Jake, once again, you just amaze me by your wisdom and your grace. And thank you very much for a wonderful, wonderful service.
Thank you.
I've been having a hard time with my version of God, as it used to be the universe, and now I don't know what it is. And I think that you just brought something into my eyes that it's not something that's all powerful, and it doesn't not make mistakes, and it can't control everything, but that it's just love, and that it's just imperfect, and it just shows up. And so I think that really helped, that my something that's greater is not Father God, it's a mother. So thank you.
I have a file where I keep my favorite sermons. And this is definitely going in that file. And I will probably watch it more than once. And I'm continually amazed how wonderful the young people in our congregation are, including you. I mean, what? I'm 60 years older than you, and you taught me something. I'll probably have to be retaught, and so I'll watch it again. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Jake.
Thank you, Sharon.
I wanted to thank you for hitting something. My life was very similar. I was born in the middle of a war. My mother, in my mind at least, abandoned me. She volunteered to be a nurse in the war. But I was very, very lucky. When I was about 9 months old, it was my mother's cousin. I refer to her as my foster mother, but it was actually my mother's cousin who took me in. My dad also was drafted, so he wasn't around, and loved me like her own child. And one time I said to her, "Don't you want any children of your own?" And she said to me, "Why? I have you." And your sermon was wonderful. I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Don't touch the top part. I'm sorry. I touched where I wasn't supposed to, and I turned myself off. Interesting. I was one of those children that was taken to church every Sunday to attend Sunday school for 18 years. I went to a Methodist college to get a degree. I did not like what I learned about my religious upbringing, and I started to explore. I went through Buddhism, shamanism. I touched on Native American spirituality, several Southeastern traditions, and I'm just amazed at what you delivered today was the summation and the final conclusion that I am gradually arriving at. And you also touched on so much of Unitarian Universalism. I am feeling privileged to know you, even in your younger days, not knowing that I would find you several years later. It was meant to be, I think. And I'm really proud to know you, and I admire you for still pursuing more self-awareness and sharing with other people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments? If there are no other comments, please rise and let's sing our next song. Or I should say hymn.
For the joy of you. sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mine, source of all to thee we raise, this our hymn of grateful praise.
Please be seated. Our closing words and our extinguishing chalice words are by Jake Tranter. As we extinguish this flame, may we carry its light within us, the warmth of care, the strength of compassion, the quiet power of love that nurtures life in all its forms. Let us leave this space grounded in gratitude for the mothers who shaped us, for the people and moments that have mothered us, and for the spirit of life that continues to hold us through change, gently urging us to grow, to heal, to love more deeply. Though the flame is out, the light remains in our heart, in our hand, in the ways we choose to care for one another. Go in peace. Held by the mothering spirit of the universe, amen, and blessed be. I'm going to do something a little bit unusual right now, and I hope you'll join me. We would like for you to help us congratulate Jake Tranter for his outstanding and spiritual support in helping us to prepare for today's Sunday service. He has done what was his to do in the ongoing effort to make our Sunday services uplifting, spiritual, and meaningful. Please give Jake a hand of applause. Thank you.
Larry?
Yes, I'm Larry.
And let's just, we might have this same service on any Mother's Day that comes up. I have never heard Mother's Day presented in such a beautiful spiritual way. I'd love to hear it next year.
Hint, hint. Mother's Day. Thank you to all the mothers. As we end our service today, we are reminded we have come this way by faith, leaning and trusting on the God of our understanding, uplifted in knowing that it is in this spirit of life that we live, move, and have our being. Oh, may each of you be a shining light for loving kindness to all you may meet today and the rest of the week. Amen. Please rise now and join us in a circle of oneness as we sing our final hymn, Go Lifted Up.